Welcome to JW World News. My name is Vern, and for the next little bit, I will bring you the latest news. JW News, that is. So what we're looking at today is how JW.org handles whistleblowers and what happens perhaps if you're one of us and you're going to conventions and you're holding up picket signs. Well, we're going to look into one of the key figures who's didn't really become an activist, but was just trying to get some help regarding his daughter's abuse. So he was an elder. So we're going to look at him, and he just got a letter leaked to him that shows that Jehovah's Witnesses at convention sites are actually broadcasting activists by face, by name, by description. So when I think back to being disfellowshipped, I thought they weren't supposed to announce your name or announce anything. But if you're an activist, you are treated differently. You are treated like the worst person on earth. And we're going to cover that on our upcoming live this Saturday. We're going to talk about David Splain and how he views us as activists. Now let's look in on one of the activists, and I'm going to pull you over to the full screen. And here, this information from today's news is brought to you by Watching Watchtower. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Watching Watchtower, please subscribe. Just type Watching Watchtower. They're a brand new channel, and they have algorithms out to search for Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide. And they are following every little piece of news on the planet Earth. So if you haven't yet subscribed, subscribe to Watching Watchtower. So here's what we learned, and we're also a follower on Twitter. You can go onto Twitter and follow us. We don't post a lot. We more or less just follow other people. And here's a guy we follow, Martin Haw. So Martin Haw is an ex-JW elder who wants to help get as many people out of the cult as possible. And he says, I also love running outdoors in video games and PS5. And that's what he has right on his site. So Martin says today, he says JWs are having their regional convention in my area. Well, it looks like this was a July 15th post. And he says they have sent this email out to all the attendants. And I have made the JW watch list. This email contains many lies. I have never once tried to enter any convention since 2015. Now, we're gonna look at this email that Martin has shared with us, and we're going to show you something else that's really interesting about this particular post. So let's read it. This is the Watchtower. This is JW.org telling the convention security guys they sent this email out. So let's read what Watchtower says. They say, attached is a confidential file continuing pictures of 3 individuals that we will not permit entry to our convention. These pictures are for your eyes only and are not to be shared with anyone else. So what Watchtower is telling their security attendants at the assembly. He says that Watchtower says, please be sure to have this file saved for easy access on your cell phones in the event we need to consult any of these pictures. I don't know if that's legal. The husband and the wife have been known to attempt entry into our conventions by mingling with crowd upon entry, dressing and acting as if one of us. They are not one of us. Be alert to anyone not displaying this year's label. And so we go to the next part. Mingling with crowds, dressing, acting as one of us. So be alert to anyone not displaying this year's lapel card. Remember, they used to give you a lapel card. You'd order it in, and you had to be a publisher, I think. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what the rules are now. But you get the lapel card, and I think there's even different ones if you're not baptized and are baptized, different colors. I'm not sure, but maybe someone can help us out there. So here's what they're telling at Martin Hawes, this assembly he was at, or going to go to. Be alert to anyone not displaying this year's lapel card and engage them in a conversation outside the arena, just as we've been trained. So here they have training for us. So it says the other woman has a history of mental instability. Holy crap, they're saying that? That's almost liable to say that. And has been prone to violent threats at times. I think that's liable. I don't think. Anyways, thank you for your diligence in this regard. And then we go to the next screen, and here's the pictures. They sent the pictures. There's, of course, Martin, right? There's Martin and his wife, Jennifer. So this is what Watchtower does to the activists. You know, if you're out protesting, they have pictures sent to all the security people. I'm assuming, because this is what happened to Martin. So I believe that Watchtower is out there and they have made a file on all of us. Now, folks, this was such big news that Fox News, Fox 43 picked this up. And the reason we're on this, it was just released just a few hours ago by Fox News. So here it is. Emails reveal Jehovah's Witnesses' response to child sex abuse allegations. And it goes on to say, Fox says an email sent to some members is offering a glimpse into how the organization is responding to that scrutiny and whistleblowers who help bring concerns to light. So Harrisburg, PA, the Jehovah's Witnesses organization is facing scrutiny in Pennsylvania over its handling of alleged widespread child sexual abuse by members. An email sent to some members is offering a glimpse into how the organization is responding to that scrutiny and the whistleblowers who helped bring concerns to light. Martin and Jennifer Haw first spoke with Fox 43 in May of 2023 to discuss their frustrations trying to get justice within Jehovah's Witnesses for their daughter's molestation in 2005. Martin Haw, a former Jehovah's Witness elder, was so devoted to the faith that even after he walked in on another member sexually molesting his 4-year-old daughter, he didn't go to the police for another 11 years. Now that the Haws have gone public with their story, Jehovah's Witnesses have labeled them apostates and warned other members not to engage with them. An email sent out in early July that instructed members providing security for a Jehovah's Witness convention in Reading to keep photos of the couple on their phones. The convention was one of 6,000 being held across the world this year with the theme Exercise Patience. The convention began July 14th and was scheduled to run 3 consecutive weekends. The email reminded the attendants the name for the members who provide security for these conventions, that Haws were not one of us. I learned that I was on a watch list of all the attendants or brothers who handled security at the convention, not to be allowed in any building, Martin Haw said. According to Jehovah's Witness expert and founder of the Cult Education Institute, Rick, isn't that interesting? They call it founder of the Cult Education Institute. According to Jehovah's Witness expert and founder of Cult Education Institute, Rick Allen Ross, the email showed that the organization was responding defensively to whistleblowers and critical media coverage of their handling of alleged child sex abuse. This is really something that is not shocking to me because I've watched the organization for decades and dealt with them in court, Allen Ross said. They basically go after these whistleblowers and can disfellowship them, shun them, and punish them for speaking out. Jehovah's Witnesses should be listening to them in an effort to try to correct what's wrong and deal with the situation of child sexual abuse within the organization. So here we have a brother, an ex-brother, I guess, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, but to me, he's a brother. He's one of our apostate brothers, and if we're not apostate, we're bowing down to idol worship. If we're not apostate, the 3 Hebrews would not bow down to the king of Babylon, and they got thrown in the fiery furnace. So we apostates will not bow down to the governing body. So we are thrown into the fiery furnace. We're disfellowshipped, we're shunned, and now our pictures are sent out, and awful things are said about us, like we have mental problems and stuff. That's what they said about Ha's wife, Jennifer. So let's see what goes on. Let's see what else is said. Ha said let's carry on. He did not attend one protest outside of the 2018 reading convention, but he did attend. So Ha did attend one protest outside the 2018 reading convention, but have never tried to enter a convention under false pretenses. So we're just going to stop here, and we're going to take a look at that convention right here. And I'm just going to put on my desktop audio.
Thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses were in Reading this weekend for the organization's annual convention. But as WGAL News 8's Becca Hendrickson shows us, the event was met with protest.
The signs are everywhere. It's the last weekend of the Jehovah's Witnesses convention in Reading, attracting people from all over the world.
Have you seen everybody else yet?
No, I haven't met him.
Yeah, feel free to come over. I'll introduce you.
There's one sign in particular Chessa Mannion has an issue with.
Be courageous. Protect your children.
She's protesting the organization she was raised in.
I am a survivor of child sexual abuse within the organization, and I was silenced for over 20 years.
Alongside other survivors, like the Hawks, who say their daughter was sexually abused when she was 4 in the Red Lion Kingdom Hall.
This is a rapid, widespread problem that is finally being brought to light. It's being brought to light in Catholicism. It's being brought to light with Jehovah's Witnesses.
But the Jehovah's Witnesses at the convention wouldn't address the protesters. In fact, they wouldn't even let me inside, despite sending an invitation to this convention last month.
Could you tell us why we're not allowed in anymore? Aren't these supposed to be open to the public?
Because you have revoked your supposed permission to even be here. That's why.
Stop the two-witness rule!
Jehovah's Witnesses blocked every entrance, but from the sidewalk, protesters continued to march. Mannion says she just wants to be heard.
There's more than a level of abandonment. There is outright silencing.
In Reading,
Please report abuse to the police.
Becca Hendrickson, WGAL News 8.
Well, there you have the rest of the story on that one. We see there that that was the 2018 reading convention. And Ha said he was there, but he didn't go in. So the email claimed that Ha attempted to get in past conventions by mingling with the crowd upon entry, dressing and acting as one of them. And so this is what's coming out, and this is what's being emailed today, July 15th of 2023. This is what Watchtower, how they're handling this. You see, they take parts of the truth and they just give it a little bit of a twist. But that's called theocratic warfare, strategic theocratic warfare, or theocratic warfare strategy. And if you research that, I have that on a few of my other videos. It's quite interesting. The brothers are taught to lie. And I was taught that on one situation where I was bringing goods for the Watchtower to another country. I was taught to lie at the border to get the goods by tax-free. So this is what happens. This is what the organization does. And it will slander and discriminate people even further in sending their pictures out. So Martin said he did attend the one protest that we just seen, but he had not tried to enter under false pretenses. And I believe Martin. So now, here's what it says. We got permission before we even went. The police knew we were coming. This is what Martin was saying. The city of Reading knew we were coming, Ha said. And we were respectful. We didn't engage with any Jehovah's Witnesses, and we didn't try to enter the building. So media coverage of the 2018 event shows Ha outside the building holding a sign and marching with other protesters. That's what we just seen. Ha said in his opinion, the email showed whom Jehovah's Witnesses were choosing to target. It really hurt me. And this is Shaw, I think, talking. He says, it really hurt me because, again, it's their convention. They can determine who can come and who cannot, he said. But on the other hand, when I was an elder, I was not allowed to inform members of the congregation that there was a known child abuser in the congregation. So here you have it. Ha's saying, as an elder, he wasn't allowed to let anybody in the congregation know who was a child abuser. But now here, he's trying to help the children, and the Jehovah's Witnesses are making his face public. Public. Isn't that a shame? So here, Jehovah's Witnesses responded to our question about this email with a statement. And this is Fox 43. This is Jehovah's Witnesses' response. It says, our congregates expect and value a peaceful learning environment at our conventions. To ensure the well-being of all who attend, we may at times revoke a person's privilege or attend our Bible education programs when we believe that their goal is to disrupt our peaceful gathering. That's how they talk. Back to Fox 43. They close this article by saying the Pennsylvania grand jury investigation is moving forward. On July 25th, Jesse Hill, one of the 14 Jehovah's Witnesses charged by the Attorney General in the last year for child sex abuse, became the first to plead guilty. And we covered that on one of our previous videos. So that gives us kind of the rest of the story on how JW.org handles whistleblowers. And we got to take a look at Martin Ha's email that was passed around. And Fox 43 carried this. So the world knows that Jehovah's Witnesses are afraid. And this exposure is not good for the organization. So thanks again, folks, and thanks for watching the channel. We're a small channel, so if you can help us grow by subscribing and liking and sharing our videos, it gets our channel out to the whole world. So thanks again, and keep living your life with love. Bye for now.